What is going on, casuals? I'm back again with another breakdown. And today, I'm going to be giving a quick prediction video on Salkilld versus Gamrot. Actually, a pretty solid main event. This card order is whack. Really hastily put together card. Low-key shit ass. Fart ass. This card low-key fart ass, but there are a couple of little sneaky bangers on here. So, I'm going to start off with a fight that I think is a sneaky banger. Gigi Canuto versus Carol Foro. I'm picking Carol Foro. I don't know much about Gigi Canuto. I know that I watched Carol Foro on the Contender Series have a really good fun fight where she dropped her opponent like 3 fucking times. And I'm like, if you're a woman and you can do that to your opponent, that's really good. And her opponent was Chanel Ryder. Was it Ryder or Dyer? I don't know. But Chanel Ryder is actually pretty decent in my eyes. I think she's pretty good, based off of her debut getting a finish. So I'm valuing that win. And Gigi Canuto, I saw a clip of her on the Contender Series, not the Contender Series, Tough semifinal, and she looked like a victim. I'm sorry, but if you're a Tough semifinal loser, I'm not picking you to beat like a decently hyped prospect. I think Carol Foro is going to slime her out. Round 2 knockout, I'd say. Next up, Juliana Miller versus Ravina Oliveira. This is another one where it's kind of like poop versus shit. But Juliana Miller is not like completely terrible. She has some skills. And that comes from the fact that when I look at you and I see you're able to go to a decision loss with Carly Jadis, who literally just slimes out all of her opponents that she beats, and you're able to take her down and hold her down, and you're now fighting an opponent, I think, who's coming up a weight class, who's known to not deal with the grappling well. I'm going to pick you to fuck her up. So I think Juliana Miller is going to submit Ravina Oliveira, probably round 1 or round 2. I think it's going to be real easy. Maybe a ground and pound TKO. But Ravina Oliveira can't grapple, and Juliana Miller is actually kind of a decent grappler. So I'm like, okay, you're going to fuck her up. Hey, good job, USA. You're fucking him up. Next up, Miles Johns versus Yanni Vasquez. I think Miles Johns is going to win. Real big, stocky guy. Yanni Vasquez weighing 2 pounds under, 3 pounds under the limit. Miles Johns weighing in at 145. Probably an easier cut for Johns, but he's still going to be bigger. I think he's still going to be a lot stronger. He's fought and beat better opponents than Yanni Vasquez before. And just all in all, I think... I don't really think Miles Johns is anything spectacular. But, at one point he was 6-2 in the UFC. He was having, decent fights, getting decent wins over certain guys. He's just going to be bigger. He's going to be stronger. He can grapple pretty well. And I think he's probably going to... I expect him to finish Yanni Vasquez. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be a classic Miles Johns big meaty hook slime out. So I'm picking Miles Johns to win. Next up, sneaky banger. This is a sneaky banger. Manuel Sosa versus Richie Miranda. I was rewatching Richie Miranda's fights because I remember when I discovered him, I was looking at Cub Swanson's team and kind of thinking, his guys are actually doing really good. You have Danny Silva. He's in the hospital recently. That's terrible. I hope Danny Silva heals up. He's a fucking great prospect. I really love watching him fight. But I remember irrelevant, but I remember a couple weeks ago seeing who's next for Tommy McMillan, and Cub Swanson post give him Danny Silva next, and then fucking Danny Silva has this happen. It's a government psyop. They're trying to protect Tommy Gunn from Danny Silva. But I remember looking at his team, and I saw Richie Miranda, and I was like, who's this guy with a 12-1 record? And I look at it, and he's getting these wins, and he has a real big, plus 750 underdog win an LFA, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's actually really fucking good. And I'm watching, and I'm thinking, okay, this is maybe this is a guy I could pick to beat Manuel Sosa. But then I go back and watch his fights, and I still think he's pretty good. I still think he's good. I still think he's a good fighter, a well trained fighter, one of these Cup Swanson guys. You know they all are. But he's not like he's a striker, and he's not like crazy heavy handed. He's not. He doesn't have the heavy hands that I would say you need to to beat and stave off a guy like Manuel Sosa, a big, like really thick, physically imposing dude who's gonna march at you. He's gonna march at you and he's gonna walk you down and he's gonna throw these big shots. And sorry about that. And he's gonna use his like just physicality to back you into a corner. He's just gonna unload bombs onto you. And when he gets you against that fence, he's gonna unload a fucking mean, vicious right hand to you, and he's gonna slime you out. This is a dude who's gonna just go out there and slime you out. And I know I said Manuel Sosa's fraud checkable, and I still think he is. I still think he is fraud checkable. But I also think against a certain like level of opponent and a certain style of opponent, kind of like a Richie Miranda, this is the kind of guy I think he could do what he did to Belagioki. Just slime him out. Richie Miranda's good, but I don't think he has the power, the speed, or the physical like presence in the cage to get Manuel Sosa off of him. And I think Manuel Sosa's gonna just march him down. He's gonna unload bombs. He's gonna unload bombs and he's gonna put mean, vicious hands on Richie Miranda. I'm picking Manuel Sosa by around round 2 TKO. I think that's fair. Next up, Louis Sutherland versus my dad just walked in. That's funny. Louis Sutherland versus Jose Montana. I'm gonna pick Louis Sutherland. I'm gonna break this down as simply as I can. I did not watch a single Jose Montana fight. You will not convince me to watch a single Jose Montana fight. He looks like he's got some muscle on him, but I think Louis fucking Sutherland, oh my days. He's so fucking crafty. No, but he is actually kind of crafty. He's got spinning elbows. He's got a bag of tricks. This is the Peter Yan of heavyweight. You know, he's not the biggest. He's not the baddest. But he's got his bag of tricks, and he'll trick all over you. I think he's going to use his bag of tricks on a debuting Jose Montana. And I think he's going to blob him like he did Tai Tuivasa. I'm picking Louis Sutherland by decision. I don't know. I don't value Jose Montana, I guess. So moving on, Dr. Nurgajai versus Bruno Lopez. I'm picking Dr. Nurgajai. A part of me wanted to pick Bruno Lopez because I think like, oh, he has the grappling style. He could probably just smudge Dr. Nurgajai. But Bruno Lopez doesn't have a chin and he can't strike. Like Brenton Ribeiro doesn't have a chin, but he can somewhat strike and he's got really fluky power. And he's got a really fluky ground game. Bruno Lopez has a really like smudgy ground game and he has no fluky power and no fluky striking and he has a fluky chin. And I think Dr. Nurgajai is going to slime him out. I think Dr. Nurgajai, he's got pretty good striking. He's got decently fast hands. He's got good kicks. I think he's probably going to fucking head kick slime out Bruno Lopez. I thought Bruno Lopez was pretty good in his debut, but then he got put against Navajo Sterling and Dustin Jacoby. And I think, oh wow, you're fucked up for doing something like that. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a good fight. Or it's not a good fight, but you know, Darren Nurgajai is a decent strike. He's a decent enough striker and decent enough defensive grappler to, I think, finish a guy like Bruno Lopez. So I'm picking Dr. Nurgajai by like a round 1 or 2 KO. Next up, a real heavyweight fight. Steven Asplund versus Guilherme Pat. I'm picking Steven Asplund. Guilherme Pat, I think a big thing in this fight is that Guilherme Pat's not very high output at all. I don't think he's very high output at all. I think Steven Asplund is a higher output. I think Guilherme Pat may be a little bit more like faster and athletic, given just his build and his frame. But I really do think that Steven Asplund is just got higher output, better striking, skill-wise just better. And I think he's going to back Guilherme Pat up to the fence and he's going to put hands on him. Like, in my opinion, if Vitor Petrino is landing bombs on your chin and combinations on your chin, and you're able to drop Vitor Petrino and rock him bad multiple times, arguably win the fight, I think there's a real argument for Asplund beating Vitor Petrino. I'm just saying he rocked him real bad at the beginning of that third round, and it was pretty close on the feet for the rest of it. But is Guilherme Pat really the same level of like freak athlete as Vitor Petrino when this dude is getting like dropped and slimed out almost by fucking Thomas Peterson? Like, at least Vitor Petrino has the power to like fluke to fluke Peterson in like round 3 when he's gassed. Guilherme Pat, I just don't think he's that good. And Steven Asplund, I think he's actually really good for a heavyweight prospect. I'm picking Steven Asplund. He's got great cardio. He's got great output. In the clinch, he's always trying to create damage. And I think that this guy is... I think he's going to be a real big thing at heavyweight. I was really hoping he would beat Vitor Petrino because I think if you have that, then you could do something like Josh Hokett, Steven Asplund. And that would have been a fucking sick fight. I think it would have been a sick fight. But, you know, maybe we can still get it down the road one day. Just not too soon. But I'm picking Steven Asplund to beat Guilherme Pat. I don't think Guilherme Pat's that good. I don't value him. Moving on. Billy Ray Goff versus Ty Miller. This is a sneaky banger. Ty Thriller Miller. I'm picking Ty Miller. Ty Miller's really slick with his boxing. I know I know what I'm about to say is I know is going to be contradicted by the fact that he got hit by a spinning elbow from Adam Fuckett. But he's actually really defensively sound. He moves really well. He's very defensively sound. He circles really well. He's got a really good jab. He manages his distance really well. And I think this is going to be a similar fight to Goff versus Trey Waters. Except I think Ty Miller is a little bit better. I think Ty Miller's better than Trey Waters. I think he's got more power. I think he's sharper. And I think he's got more grit. I think he's going to really stand in that middle. And he's going to trade. And due to his reach, and I think his, like how defensively sound he is, he's going to get hit a lot less. And he's going to be tagging Billy Ray Goff up. And Goff, who is smaller, who is a little bit, who can be rocked, he can be hurt. We've seen him get dropped bad on the Contender Series. We've seen Trey Waters stun and hurt him, drop him to a knee. I think Ty Miller is going to finish him by around 2 or 3 KO. I am part of the Thriller Miller fan club. We all love Ty Miller. This is our welterweight prospect. Ty Miller is our welterweight prospect. Not that fucking absolute fucking freak of nature, freak athlete Michael Oliveira. No, we are going for Ty Miller because we think he's the next big thing. But really, I think his footwork, his range, his defense, and his boxing, fundamentals like with his jab. I think those are all going to work together really well, and I think he's going to piece Billy Ray Goff up and finish him. Simple as that. Alexia Tainara versus Amanda Lemos. I fucking hate Amanda Lemos fights now, so I'm going to keep this really simple. Alexia Tainara grapples, and I think she's going to smudge Amanda Lemos. Darren Elkins versus Yadier Del Val. I'm going to pick Yadier Del Val begrudgingly. A part of me wants to think that Darren Elkins just like slimes him out. Not really slimes him out. A part of me wants to just think that Darren Elkins is gonna like smudge him because Jordan Levitt did it. But Jordan Levitt's also like freaky, weird, strong. And Darren Elkins is really fucking old now. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. He's literally called the Damage. Like, I remember seeing his face in the interview, and, like, I felt bad because it was like, oh, that's fucked up. That's just the way he looks now. He can't do anything about that. But it was like, it looked like one eye was always looking in a different direction the entire time. And I swear to God, he didn't look like that at the beginning of his career. Both of his eyes would look in the same direction. But Yadier Del Val is younger. He's taken a lot less damage. I think he's got decent hands, decent power on the feet. He can grapple decently. We know he can stuff somewhat of takedowns. Jordan Levitt was able to smudge him a lot, but we know in times he can reverse positions. He can get back up against the cage. And I don't think Darren Elkins has that same ability to like smudge someone like a younger, bigger, and more athletic Jordan Levitt does. So I'm going to pick Yadier Del Val, but part of me just feels like Darren Elkins could pull it off again, but I'm going to trust that Yadier Del Val just gets it done. Next up, Diego Ferreira versus Billy Q. Ooh, I have no fucking clue. I really have no fucking clue at all. Because when you look at Diego Ferreira's last couple of fights, it was what? His last 4 fights are sliming out Michael Johnson, beating the piss out of Mateus Rebecki, getting smudged by Grant Dawson, and then getting slimed out by Alexander Hernandez. In a fight that he actually was doing pretty decent and pretty well outstriking. Was he outstriking him? Let me make sure of that, bro. I'm gonna fact check myself in real time. Was Diego Ferreira outstriking Alexander Hernandez? Let's find out. Before the knockdown where Hernandez punched him like 20 times in the face, yeah, I think he was comfortably leading. I think he was leading the fight pretty decently. But he got caught on the front foot with a big shot. But does Billy Q have that style? Billy Q is kind of like a trudger. He's a very trudgy kind of fighter, and I think someone bigger like Diego Ferreira, who I think has better grappling, more power than someone like Yusuf Zalal or Cub Swanson. Maybe not Cub Swanson, but I think bigger and maybe more power than Cub Swanson. I think he'll be able to pretty comfortably go out there and put hands on Billy Q and maybe get a slime out of sorts. Maybe he slimes him out, but I could see Billy Q. He's tough. He's got durability. He can scrap it out. I'm going to go with Diego Ferreira, but it's one of those kind of coin flip fights where I wouldn't really like confidently bet on anyone. Next up, and finally, Quillen Salkilld versus Mateusz Gamrot. I'm going to go with Quillen Salkilld. Everyone knows that Gamrot has that ability to kind of like fraud check. He's got the really good grappling. He can always kind of keep. He's never going to gas out in a fight. We know he's got the ability to scramble from position to position, maintain his position really well. He had a really good fight against. He had a really good performance against Esteban Ribovics, but I don't think Quillen Salkilld is the same level of grappling as Ribovics. I think he's a level. I think he's a couple levels above. And on the feet being bigger and longer, more powerful, I think that's also going to play into a part. We know Quillen Salkilld can grapple. We know he can scramble hard. We know he'll try to get back to his feet. We know he can. We know he's got good enough cardio. In his fight against Yanal Ashmouz, he put on a real heavy wrestling pace, shooting like 20 takedowns. He was able to just with pure grappling take 2 rounds off of Yanal Ashmouz. And even in that third round, he's still able to get takedowns, land some decent shots of his own, and take real big shots. So we know he's got a chin. We know he can grapple. We know he can strike. We know he's got power. We know he's got good kicks. I think he'll be able to utilize all these things against a guy like Gamrot, who is a little chinny, who we now know if you're able to get to his back and you're able to submit him, you're able to kind of twist him up into a pretzel. He's not going to throw a lot from on top. He's not going to do a lot of damage on top. You know, this is that kind of fight that I think it's going to be a real breakout performance from Quillen Salkilld. He beats a really good fighter. He's going to beat someone very respected. I hope he does. I hope he does. Let me rephrase. I hope he beats someone like this, who's very respected, who is very good. I don't think Gamrot's going to have much to offer on the feet because I don't think Quillen Salkilld has like a fluky chin like Dan Hooker. I think sure he got caught with like a real straight shot on the chin and it like flashed. It like stunned him for a second while off balance. But Beneil Dariush has like real like people forget that Beneil Dariush actually has like real like kind of nasty power in his hands, and Gamrot kind of has like almost he doesn't have a lot to offer on the feet. So I think this is a fight where I see Quillen Salkilld sliming out Mateusz Gamrot, and I see a breakout performance, and I hope he does because. Not in the sense that like I dislike Gamrot, because I actually don't dislike Gamrot, but I like Quillen Salkilld. I think he's good for the division. I think this is what the division needs, and I am rooting for Quillen Salkilld to knock him out. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Like. Let me know all that. You'll have a good one. I'll watch the fights tomorrow with y'all. See ya. Not actually. I'm not streaming or anything. I'm just saying that like metaphorically. Fuck you guys.